To conclude this section, let's see what are the most important things to take into consideration when dealing with wireless network security. There are things that you have to do and things that you don't want to implement in order to achieve better results. First and most important, don't use WEP or wireless equivalent privacy as a security mode for your wireless network. WEP is flawed by design and is well known to be cracked even since early 2000. The only requirement for a hacker to be able to crack your WEP encryption is to obtain enough IVs or initialization vectors from your access point. After that, the cracking process takes less than 5 minutes. Instead, use WPA or even better WPA version 2 encryption for your network. While WPA2 encryption is not perfect either, this can usually be cracked by using dictionary files, which brings us to the second item on this list. In order to achieve better security, don't use simple or common passphrases that are commonly found in dictionary files. Instead, use more complex passphrases that contain both literals and digits, as the chance to be found in a dictionary file is much lower. Another aspect to take into consideration is when to use or how to use the hidden SSID or MAC filtering in order to secure your network. While these settings alone, without using a WPA or WPA2 encryption, won't help you securing your network, as we saw that this can be easily circumvented, while using these settings in combination with a WPA encryption, for instance, these two can increase the security of your wireless network. In other words, I recommend using these settings along with WPA or WPA version 2 encryption only. That brings us to the next item on our list, which is the default username and password for your network interfaces. I highly suggest that you change this as soon as you access the administration interface for that specific device. Leaving the default username and password in place is the worst thing that a network administrator can do, as these are available on internet, especially if we are talking about well-known manufacturers like Linksys, TP-Link, D-Link, and so on. Instead, change these username and passwords with something hard to find in a dictionary file in order to decrease the risk of a network breach. And the final aspect that I want to discuss about is to always change the default SSID of your wireless network to something unique. Never let this SSID to its default value like Linksys, D-Link, DDWRT, and so on. Attackers can pre-generate passphrases combination that will speed up their cracking process. Changing these default SSIDs with something uncommon will slow down the cracking process. So, in this section we discussed about performing wireless penetration testing by using Kali Linux installed on a Raspberry Pi device or running it from a virtual machine on your system. We saw how these wireless attacks are working, what are the weakest elements of a wireless network, and we also discussed about how we can protect our network against these attacks.